Now, I explained this is just a holographic game that we're playing, and you are the master of your own game. So, a question most of us have been asking is, what's your purpose? What are you here for? What am I supposed to be doing? What's this life experience all about? Well, this is something that I've questioned practically since I was the age of 3. And there's been some pretty interesting experiences that I always questioned. And I kind of think that if you understand what your purpose is, you can really understand how to take control over your life. Now, it seems that we all are experiencing problems. Does it make sense to you that your purpose is to live in the solution and not live in the problem? So, I mean, picture your life. Do you want to go around life experiencing it where you have a lot of things to complain about? Nothing seems to be working. You can't seem to make things work the way you want it to work. And you have a lot of things to complain about? Or does it make more sense that you want to experience the solution to everything? You want to be able to make anything happen for yourself. You want to enjoy your own life. You never want to make another complaint in your life. So if your purpose is to live in the solution, then understand you have a full potential inside you, which this battle between good and evil is trying to make you not live in your full potential. It's like you got two, the good voice and the bad voice happening here. And um, the big, loud, bad voice doesn't want you to be aware of what it is you're doing. And it's going to create a lot of problems for you. Where the good voice inside you, your full potential, has all of the answers, but you're just not listening to it. And you listen to it through your intuition, but there's a little voice inside your head all the time that's telling you right from wrong, and you're just not listening to it, and you can listen to it from your intuition. But try and wrap your head around, if you know there's a problem out there, if you can define it, you can tell a story about it, there's a problem, something is not working. In order for you to see something's not working, don't you know something's wrong? You know, you obviously know something's right. So if you know what's right, the only way you can perceive a problem is because you can see what is right. So every problem that you experience, you have everything it takes to be the solution of it, because you know what the solution is. You know what it feels like. You know what it's supposed to look like. So you do know how to solve your own problems. You just got to tap into your full potential and start listening to your own intuition. And you definitely have to be responsible and accountable. Throughout my life experiences, this is what I've been trying to do, is understand what is the purpose of everything. What am I supposed to be doing? And so I can only use my life experiences to explain how I was motivated to find the information that I found, and how I found some pretty cool answers. And I think that if it answers a lot of problems for me, it answers a lot of problems for you. So I'm going to be talking a lot about the experiences I've had, and I'm definitely have been experiencing a lot of abuse. Now, the people that have been abusive won't say that they're abusive. They, for some odd reason, um, people that do harm to other people don't know they do it, or they deny it. They'll say and tell whatever stories that it's not true. And that's kind of what makes you go a little insane is how come this isn't obvious to you that something bad's going on? So there's going to be a lot of family members that are going to be pissed off that I do use my example. Um, I don't think that there's any bad guys in this story. I think we're doing what we know, and we just don't know any better. So, um, as more of a victim to, it seems like I always have to prove that something bad happened. So, um, just to sort of recap as fast as possible, 2 years prior to going on this disability, I landed up in the hospital, and then I started seeing this psychologist. And now I only had a few meetings with him, but um, he heard enough of what I was going through, and he opened up all of his files. He was like 70 or 80 years old, and he says most of his practice has been people have been dealing with abuse and divorce. And when he opened up his drawers, he says, "I've been doing this for years, and yours is one of the worst stories I've ever heard." So there's no question what I experienced was extreme and very bad, and it was abusive. No broken bones. So, you know, emotional abuse and abuse of the system and encouraging other people to be abusive. There's a lot of little tricks that can be done to destroy a person's life. And we're not really understanding it, and part of it is these are deep dark secrets. We don't tell what's going on in our family because the people that are being abused don't want to get any more abuse. And there definitely is going to be um, a lot of criticism, and that's what I'm trying to stop, is all the criticism. So the more I talk, the more people will criticize. I've come to a conclusion that you can't please people. If they don't want to experience love in their life, they're just focused on every single thing you do will be negative, will be wrong, and you can't communicate with them. And so I'm saying, this is going to piss a lot of people off, and I possibly could be creating something I absolutely do not love, which is I want a happy family. I want the war within my family to end. And um, we all have to sort of start facing some realities here. Now, as the victim, I'm saying from my perspective, I hold a sense of responsibility and accountability for the experiences that I have. And that's something new, something we've never talked about. We don't want to talk about it. The victims are never responsible for the events that they experience. And we're more motivated to try and change the bad guy. And if you can recognize that you can't um, control other people, you can only control yourself. You get a lot more power when you know that you can control yourself than when you're trying to control somebody else and what their actions are and what their reactions are. And then try and go back to the concept that this is just a holographic game we're playing, and you are the player of it. So that means, as insulting and as painful as that be, that in some way, shape, or form, the experiences you have, you kind of want it. You're in control of it. You are the other side of it. And there's something that you're doing that's perpetuating the experience to be replayed over and over again. My grandmother's experienced abuse. My mother experienced abuse. My ex-husband's mother, experienced abuse. I did. Um, so I'm motivated to make sure these patterns won't be repeated. And as long as I see that there's some signs and nobody's communicating, I feel this is my purpose to explain it all. Um, I'll move on to the next tape.